Breaking now, fallen Charlotte County Sergeant Elio Diaz died trying to help his killer. Sheriff Bill Prummell released body camera footage that we broke at noon of Diaz's final moments.
24-year-old Andrew Moiston grabbed his rifle and fired 10 rounds at Sergeant Diaz, a few as he stood over him. This came after a traffic stop at the Chevron gas station in Charlotte Harbor near Sunseeker. Diaz pulled him over because Moiston did not have insurance.
This picture of Moiston pointing a rifle came after Diaz worked for more than an hour to get Moiston's insurance carrier to reinstate his coverage. Diaz didn't want to confiscate the truck because Moiston said he was homeless and living in it. Now, for the first time, we're learning Moiston kept a small arsenal inside of that truck.
Yeah, and he was armed to the teeth. Take a look at some of this. You can see some of the rifles here. Hundreds of rounds of ammo. At least one different gas mask was there. The murder weapon, 2 more rifles. Wink News reporter Asha Patel joins us now live from the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. And Asha, do we know, how did he get his hands on all of this?
Not yet, but now we do know that that rifle was not the only gun that was inside of that truck. And detectives also discovered several more, and they discovered more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition. A day that changed so many lives.
So it started on Sunday just after 3 o'clock.
Sheriff Bill Prummell held a news conference on Thursday, days after Sergeant Elio Diaz lost his life during a traffic stop.
The truck pulled into the gas station in the harbor. Elio pulled in behind him and initiated a traffic stop.
Sheriff Prummell says the driver, Andrew Moiston Jr., and Sergeant Diaz talked for an hour attempting to help the driver call his insurance company so they wouldn't have to tow away his truck. He called the conversation cordial until
he got up out of his car and approached the shooter. He called out to him, at which time the individual reached into the truck, pulled out a rifle, and opened fire on him,
killing Sergeant Diaz.
He fired at least 10 shots, and Elio was hit multiple times.
He says they still don't know how Moiston got his hands on the rifle.
We found other weapons to include a crossbow, a bolt-action rifle 22, a semi-automatic rifle with scope of 5.56, and of course the SAR-1. He also had 2 gas masks.
Sheriff Prummell says that the shooter had, quote, well over 1,000 rounds of ammunition in his truck. Now, the sheriff's office also showed us today the moment when the 2 deputies were trying to get the shooter outside of his truck. They asked him more than 10 times to show his hands, to step outside, and once they saw him reaching for something, that's when shots were fired, shooting him in the head, killing him. The sheriff calls the deputy who did that a hero. Reporting live in Charlotte County, Asha Patel, Wink News.